Good morning, folks. Would-be farmer here, Bayard, New Mexico. It's about 7 a.m., 50 degrees. What is this, May 9th, perhaps? Just wanted to go over our progress here. Let y'all see what we're doing. As you can see there at the window, we took a ranch panel, some T-posts, and we were creating kind of a trellis awning combination there where I'm going to plant some beans, plant some grapes. And since this is a south side window, and you can see it previously wasn't protected, there's a lot of heat in there, a lot of heat. So we're going to put some landscape fabric, and then, as I mentioned, we're going to grow some vining grapes, some bees, some peas, anything that vines. We haven't figured out exactly what we're going to do, but that's what's going to happen there, and that'll shield a good bit of the sun from the window as we're now entering the hot summer. What we have here is composted sheep manure. It's supposed to be clean from what I understand from my sources. And then I've got wood shavings on top of that. And we're kind of letting the microbiology do its thing, build up in there. We're trying to get some fertility, getting ready to plant some cover crops. We're going to do some clover, some beans, some peas, nitrogen fixers, things of that nature. Since this is the south side, we thought this would be the best place for our garden. As you can see, it's fenced all the way up to our property line, which is basically where the cement is here. In the front, still not sure 100% of what we're going to do. We're going to bring in some more sheep manure and more wood shavings in the front. We're probably going to do a couple of perhaps pear trees. I have seen a couple of pear trees growing here that are not irrigated, and they are producing fruit. So we may do something like that. Of course, we're going to put a little bit of protection around it, because there are dogs in the neighborhood that do run around, and we'd certainly like to keep them protected as they're growing. Turn this area here into a little tomato cage. I've got these 2 Rutgers style tomatoes growing, so we're going to see how they do. I put some pepper plants in here, and this, as you see here, this what's growing here, tree of heaven. Quite a few of them there, and yes, I've read the reports and I've heard people tell me they are allelopathic. They will kill everything around. And I got with some permaculture minded people, went to their place, and I saw that no, they don't kill everything that's growing around it. In fact, if you look right here, you'll see that there's other species of trees that are growing, plants and trees that are growing with the tree of heaven. So yes, it may dissuade or persuade or poison certain species, but it doesn't kill everything in its path. It's going to be a learning process for me. Of course, the internet is a jewel of information, and it's also a sewer of misinformation. So we shall see. We shall see. My big thing is I like to go to somebody's house and see what's growing. And wait, it's a little bit better resource when you can see for yourself, ask questions, see the plants. Trying to grow some aloe in here. These are supposed to be 2 of the hardiest types of aloe. And like a moron, I forgot to brush up on the names of these. I can't remember which is which, but I've got 2 species growing in here. And of course, I've got rocks around here, some lava rock, and then I've got this thermal mass here, the porch, that I hope will keep it alive during the winter. We'll hold some of the heat during the day, hold that overnight, and keep the plants surviving through the winter, because I would like to have some aloe growing there. As I mentioned before, previous pictures and videos, what we're doing here is we're building some swales, and I've brought some of this lava rock you see. This lava rock was all over the front. It covered the front area, plastic underneath the lava rock. And sure, if that's what you want, I hate plastic. I try to avoid plastic as much as possible, but it's almost impossible. If that's what you want, I'm going to basically kill the soil, have no growth up there, have these lava rocks. I guess it looks okay in pictures, but it's not what we want to do. We want to grow food. We want to produce as much as we can on this property. We would like to have farm to table distance be minimal, as in your backyard or front yard in this case. But the berms and swells here that we're still working on, the idea is to capture as much of the water on the property as possible, to slow it, to sink it, and to spread it. So that's the goal back here. Because of the grade of the property, there was a lot of water coming in here, sitting there. Our little cellar, our little crawl space, was having some water issues, so we're digging that out a little bit. May have to go further, may have to go all the way down with the French drain, we'll find out. And we're trying to bring the water here and through these series of berms and swells. We want to hold the water. We want to keep the water on the property. Plant the water. You got to keep the water in the soil, especially in an area here where we get 16 to 18 inches of rain per year. It's dry. So this is our project. This is how it's going. We do have another load of wood shavings coming in. We're going to keep adding organic material. We've got our compost operation starting in the back, so that we are not sending off any of our kitchen scraps. Janet and I both eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. So we put all of them in here, and then we throw some wood chips or wood shavings on top so we can balance. As you can see, plants and trees are starting to grow. This is a tree of heaven that's growing right here in our compost area. I don't know if you can see it. I know the light's kind of tough right now. And here's another one growing here. Now, I've talked to a few people who have the tree of heaven on their property, and their point is it's hard to get trees that grow fast here. It's hard to get the shade, and we want the shade. I think when the people we're getting ready to sell this, they just basically shaved everything down. They chopped everything down, shaved everything down. And now as we see spring is coming in, we're trying to create more fertility. And we see plants growing. We see life coming back. Speaking of life, this is an apricot. You can see the fruit already. Plenty of fruit growing on this tree, and this isn't a big tree. When we walked the neighborhood last night, we must have counted 15 to 20 just in our back alley and in the surrounding area. Apricots. So that's also an apricot tree behind it. That's the big one. That's probably the mother. That one's obviously been pruned quite a bit. So we have fruit. Nobody waters this. Nobody is watering this. Anyway, that's it. I wanted to do an update for y'all. Hope you enjoy your day. Thanks.